Viagra.
Did you just say Viagra?
Said mics up.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Viagra.
No, I thought you said mics are up, and I was like, Viagra. Bluetooth.
Blue Chew? All right. They're not a sponsor yet. We're going to work on that, though. Greetings. Good evening. How the hell are you? No, they heard everything. 8 minutes after the top of the 6 o'clock hour in the Central Time Zone, 8 after 4 on the West Coast. Welcome into Beyond Ringside Live on this Sunday night edition. So many things going on this week. Chaos, love it. Imaginary, not even close. Live from the ever-evolving Studio One, the warehouse, the asylum, all of the above. I'm the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne. Welcoming in tag team partner, the incomparable Mark Mabo Bowman. Wow, that was like 7 different people all rolled into one.
Well, that's just the peek inside my mind, Puddin' Pop. Let's rock and roll! Off and the ginger ale is cracked. Let's do it.
I know. I've got my Ipanema pomegranate bai juice over here. I'm perfectly happy right now. Yeah, the pomegranate's really good.
Did you get it from that girl?
No.
You didn't get it from the girl from Ipanema?
No, didn't get it from the girl in Ipanema.
No.
Although it was a really cool song back in the day.
Huh?
Really good song back in the day.
Huh. Well, I tell you right now, even though they're not a sponsor, I do enjoy a nice, cool, refreshing Buffalo Rock ginger ale, the Southern spice. Because every time I drink it, I forget that little bit of kick that comes at the end. So, I'll go a couple weeks to a month without having it, then I'll get one, and I'm like, ooh, that's in my giblets.
Knowing how well you get along with Ted Guinness, I'm going to give you even more reason to love him.
Oh, screw you. Screw you.
I'm just going to sit back and say Ted got an advanced screening of Shazam last week.
Yeah, well, so did I.
You did?
Might not have been on the level, but
Of course not. I've noticed something too. I was doing a lot of looking around yesterday, and if you haven't seen them yet, the new posters, Avenge the Fallen, which is a part of the Endgame setup for the end of April. There are people who have some tremendous fan art out there and some Photoshop compilations of characters that go side by side, like Cap and Bucky, Thor and Loki. They did one of Captain Marvel and Nick Fury. I saw the one for Phil Coulson. And, of course, Fury, I think Fury was part of the Avenge the Fallen series, but Phil Coulson was not. Idris Elba, Thor character.
You mean
Heimdall?
Not Balder. Heimdall, yeah.
Heimdall, yeah. Someone did one for him as well, and actually 2 or 3 for him. And I was impressed at the way a lot of these came out. I was very happy with them. And there is even one that was put there. I've seen about 6, honestly, that have been put together for Stan Lee himself. So these have absolutely been blowing my mind over the last 24, 36 hours. Just the things that people have been coming up with, just absolutely awesome. So for as much as...
the parodies have been pretty funny, too. In the pro wrestling world, remember you showed me the Oscar. But have you seen the Titus O'Neil?
No, I have not.
It's the one where he's actually falling from the greatest Royal Rumble ever, and he's where he's tripping forward, and it says Avenge the Fallen.
Funny. Should have had him halfway into the ring. I think that would have worked out even better.
No, it's literally as he's going down, and that's where it says Avenge the Fallen, and I'm like, ah!
And got to throw this one out on a totally separate note. My hat is off, and congratulations going up to the Auburn Tigers men's basketball program. Victorious earlier today in a great game in the Elite Eight against the University of Kentucky Wildcats. Pearl and Calipari, 2 great coaches, and this one could have gone either way, and it did go into overtime. So from that vantage point, Auburn pulling out the win, just absolutely tremendous. For the first time in school history, the University of Auburn's men's basketball squad goes to the Final Four. So absolutely incredible. Loving every second of that. It was a tremendous game. Right now, the Duke and Michigan State game is on. I'm kind of cutting my eyes to the left a little bit on that one here at Studio One. But bringing it over into wrestling, of course, news being made all the way throughout the week. Number one in my book is the announcement made through social media that the Impact character known as Allie has now signed with All Elite. So I don't know if she's going to be keeping that name or if she's going to go back to what everybody knew her on the more regional circuit. But have you seen that one?
Well, it was actually announced last week before the show that she had signed because we had talked about it.
I didn't remember. But, did we talk about it last week?
Yes, we did.
Okay, because I didn't think we talked about it on the show.
No, we did. We did. And but here's the thing.
Yeah, on her Twitter account.
Father Dowling. Can I finish?
Yes. As often as you let me.
Here's the thing there. Let me finish. On Impact this week, I don't really, whatever weird channel it's on now, I don't really get to watch it, but, I'm a sucker for the little mini movies they've been putting together.
Right.
Kind of in vein of when they did the Broken Universe. They had the LAX, if you remember, sometime last year they did LAX and the OGs, and they had the little vignettes and everything. Well, they've been doing I guess you could call it the Battle for the Bunny Soul with Rosemary and, Allie going dark. Kiera Hogan was in it for a little bit. Jordan Grace, Sue Young, all that. Well, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, Allie got killed.
Yeah, I saw that.
Legit. You saw that, legit stabbed her in the neck.
Yeah.
And they couldn't pronounce her dead, so I don't know if that means, her contract is up. Because they announced her as Allie, though, why wouldn't they announce her as Cherry Bomb if she signed with
AEW?
AEW, so why would they announce her as Allie? So, but I don't know if she owns the name Allie or what. So it's kind of a mystery for them to kill off Allie on the television show or on the on their in their universe, the Impact universe, not to be confused with WWE universe. We don't need those. We don't need those lawsuits. But so I just find it weird that they killed her, and then she reverted back to Allie. So I don't know, but I'm interested to see where it's going.
In the words that Sylvester Stallone made so famous at the end of Rocky V, when in the middle of the confrontation with George Washington Duke, I will follow up your comment about lawsuit. Sue me for what? That's all I'm going to say, plain and simple. Thing about it is, and this is what brought it back to the forefront of my mind from this past weekend, yesterday, of course, playing around on Twitter, social media, Reddit, all of the above, and actually on Allie's account, she just re-released it yesterday about signing with AEW, because when I found,
I saw that too.
So that's what kept it fresh in my mind, that it was more of a news release this week as opposed to last week.
Oh no! Yeah, she released I almost want to say it was 2 weeks ago, but I know we talked about it because I was because you referred to her as Allie Impact.
Well, that was the Twitter
I was
name.
No, she's just Allie.
No, actually, I would have never said Allie Impact due to the fact that I know that she is just simply Allie on Impact.
Well, we talked about her on the show. I remember that.
Must have been Corey. Then he's surprised you got it right because you're the scout for WWE, remember?
I am. Don't tell nobody.
You know Corey's listening, right?
No, he's not.
Speaking of, got some bombshells you and I did not have a chance to discuss off air, so I'm going to go ahead and let you know. We are probably going to be at Studio One next Sunday, and of course with WrestleMania lasting about 97 hours. God help me. I am planning at this point for us probably to go live at 4 p.m. Central for 1 hour before Mania. If all else fails, we may go a little bit sooner than that. I'm not sure. There are going to be some new voices in attend. Is that mine or yours? Okay. Surprise coming up later in the show.
Yes, Mr. President. What can we help you with?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you for calling White House operator number 6 speaking. Please hold for the Secret Service. That's the way I answer when it's a bill collector calling. In other words, that's the way I always answer my phone. But from there, have some good friends coming on board. that are going to be joining us probably definitely for the first time next weekend. Good friend of the family on my side of the board, Kadarius Turner. Looking forward to having KD on board, and KD for short. I know, and that's not a reference to Kevin Durant. Also, a longtime friend of the family, Justin Poe, who a lot of people in podcast world are going to know from one of the successful Disney podcasts. Him and Mike Miller formerly teaming up on that. Justin, of course, a very avid wrestling fan. And I made the offer for him to come join in sometime. So, like I said last week, there are going to be some new voices coming on board on BR Live. Excuse me, I have to be careful about BR Live because thanks to Bleacher Report calling their gimmick BR Live. Of course, we were BR Live long before Bleacher Report was a thing. But sometimes the paperwork trail doesn't always say that. But from there, put the world in proper perspective. Of course, this week is going to be hectic. Back to basics Tuesday night. Special guest JP Magnum. Wednesday night, a very special broadcast. Stan Grubb and company taking over the airwaves for UCW Radio for Ultimate Championship Wrestling. The Shooters Gallery live this coming Thursday night. Going to make up for some lost time. Got a lot of things to cover in every facet of sports, wrestling, and entertainment. And then, of course, this coming Sunday, of course, Mabo and I are going to be in the saddle over in Moody, Alabama, with Coast to Coast Championship Wrestling. Back behind the microphone, ring announcing, commentary, all of the above. Can this week get any more crazier? Mabo?
Not unless I took my pants off.
You're leaving your pants on. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, we'll see about that.
No, you're going to be in public at a wrestling event. You're leaving your pants on.
Well, that's why we have tables.
That's why your table is at one end of the stage and mine is going to be at the other.
I work better in my boxer shorts.
Leave it. God help me. This is what I put up with every time. It really is. But from there, congratulations to Allie on, of course, getting killed on Impact, but, of course, being signed with AEW. So
stabbed in the neck.
I know, it's just, we have the running gag about wanting to throat punch people. My God, she got it.
Well, I mean, think about this, though. Like, okay, so, yeah, Undertaker, he's the dead man, and he's been, quote-unquote, killed or whatever and resurrected many times. But, okay, Undertaker aside, has anybody that you could think of been, had their character, quote-unquote, killed and they never come back? They go to a different company.
Never come back, period.
Well, you don't know if she's ever. Well, she might go back. Who knows? But
no, there is
not just like not like something simple like bury him alive or whatever.
Paul
like
Bearer.
Somebody legitimately gets stabbed. You see blood, and they're like, "Oh, she's dead."
Well, I know one character that had a needle taken to him and was erased from the timeline and never to be seen again. That was when we ain't talking about somebody's real life situation. No, that's when Undertaker took care of the name Sarah on his neck in the tattoo form.
No, I'm talking about. Have you ever heard of that though?
No, not to my knowledge.
Other than Chikara.
Other than Chikara, really. Matter of fact, good
There's
Lord.
been people erased from the timeline in Chikara.
And complete timeline resets as well. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and throw this one out there because Phil Stamper from the Thursday Night Shooters Gallery actually posted. Yeah, you have. He actually posted a calendar of all of the events that he was able to find out about for WrestleMania weekend. Which can you believe?
Lord.
Can you believe it's finally here?
Yeah. I can. It usually happens about this time of year, every year.
No, but seriously, I mean, it seems like it has just taken 6 months for the Mania push instead of 3. The road to WrestleMania has just been so screwed, it ain't even funny.
It hasn't been the best, but I would like to say big congratulations to two personal friends of mine. I've seen their schedules, both O'Shea Edwards and Cabana Man Dan.
Yep.
I've seen their schedules for WrestleMania weekend. Woo! If you don't know those two names by the end of the weekend, you didn't go to the right events, because I know where they're going and I know who they're working. What companies they're going to be working for.
let me go ahead and throw this one out there because for those
Do it then.
Say what?
Do it then.
Okay. For those of you that are catching this on the YouTube replay, and if you'll notice this week, I kept it strictly to the YouTube channel, but I shared the link on the Beyond Ringside fan page, facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live. For those of you catching this on YouTube, keep, let's see, we're about 6-7 minutes into the show right now, or about 9 minutes into the show. If we aren't already, stay tuned on the YouTube channel because I'm going to be putting up graphics for slides for a lot of these events that are coming up WrestleMania weekend in the New York, New Jersey area. I should have this up, and this one should be in play probably by Tuesday morning, which, considering the fact that there are live events taking place on Wednesday, let's see, everything from Voorhees, New Jersey, Ridgefield Park, New Jersey, Wayne, New Jersey. No relation
Garth, New Jersey.
It actually took me a second. Kudos. Congratulations. You got me on that.
Did you really just look for Garth, New Jersey?
I was looking on Wednesday and it's like, I don't see a Garth, New Jersey. Nicely
done.
Well,
by the time you get this uploaded with graphics, WrestleMania itself will be starting.
Probably. No, because actually I've got the system down now where I'm quite happy with it. So I've been adding, and also for those of you watching on the YouTube side right now, there, if you'll notice near the end of the first run, I'm bringing the inspirational and the motivational and the smartass slides out to play, the nice little quotes. So if they're not already here, that's about 10 minutes in on the YouTube version as well. So once again, we are live right now, 6:25 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Central Daylight Time. Had to remember what time zone I'm in. I'm so screwed up by the West Coast right now. It's not even funny. Actually, it is quite funny.
And happy Mother's Day to those mothers over in the United Kingdom.
Is today Mother's Day in the United Kingdom?
Today is Mother's Day in the United Kingdom. Or technically, it might be tomorrow during the time difference, but I think it's today. Because I saw it early this morning, and that means if I saw it early this morning, it's at least afternoon over there now. So, well, not now, but when I saw it. So
actually, I thought it is it 6 hours difference or 8 hours difference between the Central Time Zone and because West Coast would be 8 hours. Central Chicago, Birmingham 6 hours difference. So that puts it right into Monday morning, midnight 30 in downtown London right now, which makes me just sit back and go, "Hi, Matt Denton, how you doing, brother? Long time no talk to. Call in sometime. I dare you. Just keep it clean."
But yeah, so so today, I just realized it was Sunday, not Saturday. That's why I was like, why are they having Mother's Day on a Saturday? But nope, it's Sunday.
Yeah, they're 6 hours ahead of us in the Central
Time
Zone.
Happy Mother's Day to all my UK friends and their mums. So, but let me ask you this there, Pedro Morales Jr.
Okie dokie, fire away, jalapeno pepper.
How do you feel about, so like with Orlando and in the Texas region and New Orleans and all that, where they have had Mania, all the different independent shows are usually like right there.
Yeah.
Like, right in the little centralized area. But with the New York, New Jersey area, I mean, they're saying that there are some shows that are 20, 30 minutes apart. And I personally think that's going to cause issues with travel. Say, let's say, not just for the wrestlers themselves, trying to make it to their shows, but say you and I are seeing Black Label Pro in one location at X45, and it's supposed to wrap up at Y30, and then we got to get to Z, AM.
That's why I don't double book. That's why I don't do doubles.
No, I'm talking about just as fans wise.
You really have to pick wisely. Well, I'll give you a perfect example of this one. Let's come back to Wednesday, April 3rd. 8 p.m. in Voorhees, New Jersey, 7 p.m. Ridgefield Park, New Jersey, 7 p.m. Wayne, New Jersey, 7:01 in Garth, New Jersey, 7:02 in Brooks, New Jersey. Like I'd run that together, Wayne, Garth, Brooks.
No.
No, if you'd have done it, you'd have expected me to laugh.
No, because I'm much better class than to talk about Garth Brooks and his.
You just don't like country.
No.
Getting back to the
we were
subject
kidding.
at hand, Rahway, New Jersey, convention, a meet and greet at 6 p.m., a live event at 8. And then Brooklyn, New York has a live event, Battle Club, at the Battle Stewie Dome. That's what Phil wrote. Don't ask me the street name because I couldn't pronounce that if you paid me $1 right now. But so you've got...
Oh, try it. Go ahead. Try it. No,
Hang
try
on.
it.
Let me take off the glasses and lean in for this crap.
That's what she said.
Cosquico?
What?
K-O-S-C-U. Is that an I or an L? I think it's an I. S-Z-K-O Street in Brooklyn.
I don't know. Let me know when you get to the Susquehanna Hat Company.
Okay, I think that's later in the weekend. But no, I can see what you mean because you've got situations where Jersey City, New Jersey is hosting Absolute Intense Wrestling on Thursday the 4th.
And that's the Slumber Party? Oh, Slumber Party Massacre? Dude, Hornswoggle versus Scott Steiner.
Now,
come on!
White Eagle Hall in Jersey City is hosting a lot of things this weekend. Thursday, April 4th, Interspecies Wrestling, one of our favorite companies, will be in Jersey City at White Eagle Hall, 337 Newark Avenue, Jersey City, 8 p.m. start time. From there, Black Label Pro, Friday, April 5th at the White Eagle Hall, 4 p.m.
Somebody I know is going to be on that.
Chikara at White Eagle Hall, 337 Newark, will be at 12 p.m. So you've got...
Wait,
okay.
12 p.m. or 12 a.m.?
Phil has 12 p.m., so that's probably a noon start time. 4 p.m. for Black Label Pro. Now, 11:59 p.m., White Eagle Hall will be hosting Blackcraft Wrestling.
Black what?
Blackcraft. Game Changer is going to be...
I legitimately thought you said black crap. That's why I was like, what?
No, C-R-A-F-T.
Well, here's the thing, Eddie. A lot of those people running the White Eagle Hall,
Yep.
Chikara, AIW, Black Label, a couple others.
Game Changer.
Game Changer. Do you remember me months ago when I first heard about it? Do you remember me talking about The Collective?
Yeah.
That's them.
Okay.
That's where a bunch of promoters who loosely know each other, they've decided to, I guess, split the venue cost and the time cost and everything.
I think they might just buy the damn building
like
this weekend.
Huh?
I think they may as well just buy the building this weekend.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that's almost like, I'm not trying to go inside baseball because I don't know the whole story, but I think that's kind of what the Collective did. I know AIW is part of the Collective. I know Black Label's part of the Collective. I know Chikara's part of the Collective. I want to say Game Changer's in it, but Game Changer, they're doing... Game Changer's got Joey Janela, and then Joey Ryan's got his penis party.
Right.
And then I think Game Changer might also be sponsoring Orange Cassidy Does Something. He said, legitimately, that's the name of the show. Orange Cassidy, I think it's Orange Cassidy Does Something.
Yeah, let's come back to this one for a second because New Japan Ring of Honor at the Garden, 7:30 p.m. start time on Saturday.
Yeah.
On Saturday, and I'm trying to remember because I thought it was Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. I'm still looking. There's so much stuff on Saturday. Because I believe... No,
I would think they would... I would think New Japan Ring of Honor would be later in the evening to go against...
NXT.
NXT, yeah.
According to the timelines that I've got, Ring of Honor, New Japan, the combined show. Well, actually, hold on, because this is saying at the Garden 4, Pennsylvania Plaza, Manhattan, New York, 7:30 p.m., Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro. Now, this has also got Ring of Honor at the Garden... 7, same thing. Okay... Now, something didn't look right from a second. By the way, let me throw this one out there because the earlier some of this stuff starts, the better. So, for those who, of course, everybody knows by now, Wrestling Revolver, part of WrestleCon, at the Hilton, New York Midtown Ballroom, 11 a.m. God, what was the nickname for that event? Pancakes and Pile Drivers?
Pancakes and Pile Drivers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I actually thought it was going to be before 11 a.m., but I believe 11 a.m. is the start time for that. This is what the calendar's got.
No, that sounds about right. Pancakes and Pile Driver usually starts around brunchish to lunchish. So, but yeah, they're usually in the morning. But once again, it's just like, with it's like WrestleCon itself, where all the wrestlers set up and all the companies set up tables and everything. Everything is just going to be spread out, and I think it's just for people, cough button, who are not familiar with that area.
It's going to be a cluster.
It's going to. Yeah, it really is, because, if they're having to zip across New Jersey, zip across New York, zip over to, to the Garden, and then you got the con itself. Personally, I don't know, man. I when they were in Orlando, I actually, when Tunsy and I went to Disney World 2 years ago, we stayed and we didn't know this at the time, but we stayed at what eventually the hotel/convention area was where WrestleCon was going to be held. And it was perfect for it too. But I don't know, man. I don't like this. Is just I'm not even going, and it's got my anxieties up.
Well, remember, because Vince loves to have as much real estate for himself as he can get. Granted, you got one of the biggest venues in the area, and of course you're having everything at the Barclays. So those two venues are going to be locked down. And I am perfectly happy to find out that Madison Square Garden is going to be used this coming weekend. The event is a sellout. It's going to be packed to the rafters. I hate the fact that, and sooner or later, the front office of WWE is going to have to realize that even though NXT is just like the pinnacle, that step before the main roster, you've got so many promotions that want to get their name out there to that worldwide audience, but it's not taking a dollar out of WWE's pocket. Unless you count the money that might be spent on additional merch or access. Because that's the one thing I have not heard about that much this year is WWE fan access.
Well, I can tell you right now, I don't know 100% if this has any direct correlation, but, I have read multiple sources saying that Sting was pulled from WrestleCon. So, that means they probably flexed that Legends contract.
Well, then how could they possibly keep Undertaker away from StarCast?
Because he's Undertakers.
Yeah.
Plain and nah, dude. Plain and simple. And isn't it going to be on? Is it Pritchard's show?
It's one of the Conrad Thompson projects.
Yeah. So, but once again, dude, Taker's not doing anything that we know of. So, I don't know. But kind of tie into that. I guess something I want to roll into real quick. But if we putting a bow on the huge weekend, because everybody.
There's a ton more to cover.
Everybody's gonna all the workers are gonna go. Is Wale on there? Because Wale always said Wale Mania. Do you see if Phil's got Wale Mania on there anywhere?
Haven't seen it.
Really?
Nope.
Because that's where all wrestlers end up, not on the show, backstage. Everybody from Impact, Ring of Honor, WWE, all the independents. If you want to see, if you ever wanted to, your worlds to collide, and you want to see R-Truth hanging out with so-and-so, hanging out with so-and-so, and all this, go to Wale Mania. So I'm surprised it's not on the list if it's happening this year.
I have not seen it on this list yet.
Huh. And I guess the independent wrestling version of Wale Mania is Joey Janela's Spring Break.
Probably.
Because that's where all the indie guys, once they wrap up their show, whatever they're working that night. Because, Joey, he runs his show usually at, midnight? Or a little bit later.
Depending on exactly which one it is. Let me give you this one real quick. Saturday, April 6th. I'm just going to run the names of the events, not the locations. Chaotic Wrestling, a benefit for Connor's Cure. International Wrestling Syndicate. Game Changer Wrestling, 12 noon. United Wrestling Coalition, 7 p.m. WrestlePro versus Combat Zone, 6 p.m., 8 p.m. Meet and greet at 6, event at 8. House of Glory, haven't heard from them in a while, 12 noon. MoreThanMania.com wrap-up on WWN Live from the Bell House, 2 p.m. NXT UK from Brooklyn Pier, 8 a.m., 1 p.m., 6 p.m. Uncanny Attractions, House of Yes, 6:30 p.m. Wrestling Revolver, 11 a.m. New Japan Ring of Honor, 7:30 p.m. WWN Live, well, they don't have, I think that's already been covered. But that's just the stuff that we currently have for Saturday, April 6th.
Oh, yeah, there's tons more.
Now, let me go and throw this one out there, folks. In the northeastern U.S., that entire market from Pennsylvania, turn right and go up. Because you've got everything from, of course, eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, all of the above. That entire area, that 1 hour to 1.5, 2 hour window. If you're listening or watching this and you didn't hear that your event set for Saturday, Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live. Scrap that. Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside. The calendar is already up there. What we have from Phil. I've posted it on the friends page and the fan page. Put it on a comment. You can also go to Desk of Phil Stamper. Tag him in a comment. Drop it over Twitter at Beyond Ringside, at PS Phenom. One of us will get it, and we'll make sure that the calendar is updated before Wednesday and have all this up there. So once again, if you're on a show that hasn't been talked about in the last few minutes, if you don't see it on the YouTube slideshow, let us know. We'll put that up there. I'll revise it and get new stuff up there as quick as possible because, you know, Mania weekend is the weekend that everybody's drawing out the big guns. All the way from Wednesday through Sunday, and some shows Monday for those who don't feel like going to Raw. So, I mean, it's like case point scenario down here in the southeastern U.S. There's a great event coming up this coming Saturday in Alabama, great event coming up this Saturday in Georgia. So, I mean, and then not to mention everything else going on, but yeah, you've got a lot of professional wrestlers, a lot of in-ring talent, all the way across the board, who are going to be in the northeastern U.S. But there are a lot of us who have what we like to refer to as real jobs and families that even on this time of year, we're not able to make that kind of a jaunt. Trust me, I'd love to be up there for the entire weekend. Not going to happen. Real life, real work, and I'm booked on a live event. So I'm sure, Mabo, you'd love to be up there. Hell, it's like last year. We were actually considering taking the show on the road last year, but unfortunately, not going to happen yet. But Beyond Ringside Live is going to be hitting the road. See, we're actually still looking for a good venue to host BR Live next Sunday for WrestleMania Sunday. We've heard, and I know I'm beating a dead horse. I don't care. I've heard about places in Birmingham that are hosting viewing parties. They're not doing legal parties. If we start doing an active push for a business, hey, Bubba, can we run Mania through your Xbox? You're gonna get, if you're doing it at a place of business, you're going to get a cease and desist real quick, if not sued. But if you're going through Dish Network, corporate, Spectrum, or any of the other great, or In Demand is the primary. Because DirecTV, bear with me for a second, I'm about to get real. Because those folks at DirecTV has small peni and small vagi and can't fit a BB in there. And their sphincters are so tight because WWE started their own network. So, they're being pricks about it. No, we're still not going to tell the WWE event. They got the network. This can show it. Well, unfortunately, that rules out great venues like Buffalo Wild Wings, Hooters, in a lot of locations, a lot of sports bars, because most of them are pinned down to either AT&T DirecTV, which blows. I know one particular location of Buffalo Wild Wings because of the fact that Walmart has a contract with DirecTV. They have to run DirecTV too. And they'd have rather run Spectrum. How's that for business, evil empire? Walmart ain't paying my bills. I don't care. But from there, so if in our home market of Birmingham, Alabama, in and around the metro, if you know of a place that is legally showing WrestleMania, we would love to bring the party. Trust me on this one. We got a lot of people hitting me up for information that I cannot in good conscience give out. Because like I said, and I'm just going to go and say it, if Zydeco wants to show WrestleMania on their screens, that's great and wonderful. If Ghost Train wants to show it on their screens, that's great and wonderful. As long as they're not advertising it as a genuine for-profit venture. Because WWE will have a lawsuit on them so fast, their hair will turn platinum blonde from windburn. Don't believe me? Try it. Advertise it. We want to help. We want to work with businesses that are doing things. Not that these people aren't great business owners. I will never say that. But in this particular regard, we just can't take it on the road like that, not knowing the fact that it could get shut down with the blink of an eye. Okay, done with that. Next. Does Vincent Kennedy McMahon have no faith in the women's title match main eventing WrestleMania on its own merit as it stood a week ago today? Maybo?
Explain yourself. You can't just throw that question out there.
What happened Tuesday night on SmackDown Live?
Well, see, you didn't say which women's title. You just said the women's championship.
The Raw women's title. You knew what I meant.
No, because I think he has all the faith in the world. It's just he didn't have faith in the world in the women's SmackDown title. And I don't even think it's that. I think it's the fact that they didn't want, because the original plans, allegedly, were Asuka, Mandy Rose, which if that wasn't a 3-second match, then it's a waste of time. But I think that they wanted to keep it solely focused on, I mean, if you're going to have the Raw women's title main event, if you're going to have it close out WrestleMania, it's not a main event because, they've had multiple main events. There'll be about 5 damn matches that are main events. But they'll say main events. But this one's closing out the show. Then, you don't want any confusion. You don't want to take away, because you might as well go ahead and say that the SmackDown women's title match, and this is no slight on anyone involved in that match, or that match would have happened. It's no slight on any one of them. It wouldn't have meant anything because everybody's going to be focused
on Raw,
on the show closing main event. Also, and bless her heart, I mean, she's trying. If it would have been Asuka Mandy Rose, nobody would have gave a crap because they would have expected Asuka to plow through Mandy Rose like everybody else does. So I don't think if it would have been like, now honestly, and I think this would have been a legit banger of a match. If you would have said Asuka, Sonya Deville,
thank you,
and let them two just take the brakes off, I hate to say this, but I think the women's triple threat would have had, some serious contention.
Well, see, that's what it should have been.
I agree.
I agree with you. Go ahead.
Well, I know we keep agreeing with each other. It's very circular. But once again, they'll probably announce it tomorrow night. That's what everybody's saying. It could be what were they calling it? A winner-take-all situation?
God, no.
See, I don't know. They're saying that there's definitely not going to be a unification. But they're saying maybe both titles will be on the line. Maybe it'll just be Raw. But they're definitely not unifying them. So this could be an easy way for Becky. If Becky ends up pinning Charlotte and just winning the women's SmackDown title, and no English today. Ronda walks away with the title. Do you know what kind of riot you're going to have on your hands?
Actually, I do. I get this.
Yeah. So, but once again, it's like, like you said, what a Mania moment for it to replay for thousands of years from now. Charlotte still holds on to her title. Becky pins Ronda, gets the Raw Women's title. Here comes Bayley and Sasha with their titles. 4 horsewomen, bada boom, bada bang, close out the show, a la Eddie Guerrero and that guy that we can't talk about, holding up their titles because, and that's something Eddie came up with like months ago. Eddie came up with it, but one step closer to that having some validation because Sasha Banks let slip on her social media that she just got some news. So it was some amazing news about WrestleMania that she's so happy to see happen. What else could it be?
Logical choice on that one. And see, okay, I have things playing out in my head. And yes, if they'd have gone ahead and built up Sonya Deville as a credible contender for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship, that is a match, Sonya Deville versus Asuka, I'd pay money for. I have no qualm with that whatsoever. Because I think it would be a good match. Deville has come a long way in a short amount of time, and Asuka is one of the premier performers in our industry, period. They could put together a match that would get people talking. And it's like they could make it believable. Now, I'm just going to sit back and say I'm just waiting on it to be officially divulged that Carmella did not officially cash in the Money in the Bank case.
That'd be funny. But they are also saying that they pulled they put the belt on Charlotte so they could pull the Asuka Mandy Rose match so that they could add 2 more title matches.
Good.
Allegedly, we will hear something soon, but a multi-team SmackDown title match and the Raw Tag Team title match as well.
Well, see, you have to remember this year Mania is going to go 5 hours minimum. And that's the part that has me just completely galled. It's like 4 was good. And for as much as, okay, look, business is business. I understand this as much as anybody and better than most. I understand you want to try to get all of your talent on there so they can potentially have that WrestleMania moment. But it is not a damn necessity to have every member of the roster on there because guess what? The ones who don't actually get on the roster, and if you have 45 on the roster and you put 40 on there, you're going to have 5 people sit back going, well, they couldn't find anything for me. I couldn't referee. I couldn't ride down on the side of a motorcycle or on the side of a car holding a fake Tommy gun. I couldn't come out there in a hat and T-shirt and wave my hand in front of my face.
That's why they have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Nia Jax will enter this.
The women's Battle Royal.
Nia Jax will enter this.
You think? No, she's in the.
Don't care.
She's in the multi-women's teams matchy thingy.
Don't care. Nia Jax will find a way to get in there, and I'm gonna throw an egg at the television set, preferably hardboard. I'm not gonna mess up a good egg or a good television set. My version of this.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and call it right now. If since Asuka will be relegated to the Battle Royal, if she doesn't win, she just might as well go ahead and. I would not expect to renew my contract.
I don't think she is renewing her contract. I don't. The word circulated around is like certain contracts are coming due within the next 6 months to a year, and there are some talents who legitimately don't want to renew, and that's not coming from who over at what. That's actually coming from behind the scenes. So,
well, yeah, because they've, and it. I'm not saying they are going to All Elite Wrestling. I'm not saying they are. But I think, honestly, AEW has set out to do what they set out to do, and that's not to take down the WWE, but that's to show that there is alternatives. And, whether you choose to go to them, whether you choose to go to Japan, Ring of Honor, whatever, I think it took AEW starting up, and people like Jericho, which we'll get to that later,
right,
and other people opening the eyes of the talent, the roster themselves, going, hey, wait a minute. I don't have to stay here and be relegated to battle royals or pre-shows or what have you. if I choose to, I can get up and leave when my
Yep.
contract is up.
Yep.
So, like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean somebody like Asuka or Nakamura or the Good Brothers are going to go to AEW. They might not. I mean, what's his name? Tony Khan? Yes, the guy's rich a billion times over, but, he does have a finite amount of money. So it doesn't mean that he's going to sign everybody. But, like I said, I think that's what AEW did. They opened up the roster of the WWE's eyes to say, hey, you are worth something. Whether you come to our team, whether you go to Ring of Honor or any other team, know your worth. And that's what I've always said. Yeah, I know. And if you notice, it's kind of changed over the years. It was always everybody wanted to get to the WWE. WWE's the goal. WWE's, WWF, whatever at the time. That was the goal. That was the goal. That was the goal. Got to make it to New York. Well, I think a lot of people are making it to WWE, and they're like, yeah, I made it. Oh, look, my first action figure. Oh, look, a T-shirt. Oh, look, 2 years later, I haven't made it past mid-card. I was making good money on the independents. I was making killer money in Japan.
Right.
Oh, boy. So, I don't know. I doubt anybody of any significance, wrestling-wise, is listening to this. But if for some reason you're in the WWE and you hear my voice, first of all, I apologize. Second of all, know your worth. If you're with Impact and you're locked into a contract and you're regretting it, you think, well, this is the best I can do.
Okay, router is reset. For some reason, it decided to go nuts. Mabo, pick up where you left off, buddy.
Well, that just goes to show that WWE is listening and they're going to surge into the router. Basically, what I was saying was, and I need somebody to start humming Glory, Glory behind me in the background, is that know your worth. If you're in negotiations with WWE, if that's your goal and you want to get there and you want to be, quagmired into the lower mid-card or whatever, if that's how you want to be, that's fine. That's up to you. That's your career. Everybody wants to make it there. I say make it to where you're happy. If you're happy just working for Ring of Honor, that's great, but know your worth. Know that if you are legitimately one of the top performers in professional wrestling, and you don't have to know yourself, your peers and your fans will tell you. You will know by them. You will know by their reaction. You will know by the clamoring and the outputting of your name. Know your worth. Sometimes it's good to believe the hype, but know your worth. Guys like the Good Brothers, guys like Nakamura, guys like Dolph Ziggler, if you aren't happy in the WWE, know your worth. There are other places that you could go and probably make just as much and work less. You've had your time. You see that the shine has worn off the brand new penny. Know your worth. If you, and I'm not going to say who, but this guy's a dear friend of mine. He's getting out of the South. He's getting out of Alabama. And he's going to a major promotion that I can't talk about right now. But he knows his worth. So know your worth. Know your value to professional wrestling. Then you will truly be happy. Don't settle for mediocrity. Don't settle for the name brand of WWE, because there are guys who aren't in the WWE. There are guys who've got to become close to the WWE, and they are killing it. Don't believe me? Sure, it took his penis, but look at Joey Ryan. Sure, it took a crazy bump with Zandig, but look at Joey Janela. Look at what the Bucks did. Matt Jackson couldn't afford a biscuit from Bojangles, I think it was. It was either that or Popeye. And he was ready to call it quits. And then what happened? The Bucks go to Japan. They kill it. They learned their value. They knew what they were worth. And in that resurgence, from Pro Wrestling Guerrilla to New Japan to Ring of Honor to all points in between, look where they're at now. They knew their worth. Cody left WWE 2 years ago, 3 years ago. He left WWE. And he knew his worth. He went and he toured the independents like his father before him in the territories. He knew his worth. He went and did what he did. Went to Ring of Honor. Went to Japan. Now look where he's at. Know your worth, people. That goes for professional wrestlers. That goes for ring announcers, referees, whatever you're doing, commentary. Know your worth. Thank you. Good evening. And God bless.
And on that note, we're going to the top of the hour break. Hang tight. Tell you what, we're going to be simulcasting in a minute. We'll still be live here on BeyondRingside.com, ProWrestlingRadio.net, the Beyond Ringside channel over on TuneIn Radio. But from Coast to Coast Championship Wrestling, she is in studio this evening. Karen Smith with Coast to Coast going to be going live on the Coast to Coast Facebook page in just a couple of seconds. We're getting the login put together now. So, folks, hang tight. We are going to go to a quick one, and this is the way the break should have gone the first time. For Mark Mabo Bowman, I'm Fast Eddie Layne. Hang tight. This is Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
This is the King of Taunts, the product David Starr, and you are locked in Beyond Ringside. And if you can't see that, just take a step back and look at it.
This is Jim Cornette. You are locked into the show of all time, Beyond Ringside.
When planning your next party or special event, insist on the best. Full Range Entertainment is a professional entertainment company providing a full range of services. From professional disc jockeys and MCs to catering and photography, when the details of your special day must be perfect, call us first. Wedding receptions, corporate parties, school functions, birthday celebrations, and more. We also have Birmingham's largest selection of karaoke tracks available. With over 40 years combined experience, Full Range Entertainment can provide you with the talent and professionalism you need and deserve to make your next event one you'll never forget. For more information on the full range of services we offer, call 533-HITS. That's 533-HITS. Or check us out on our website at fullrangeentertainment.com.
What's up, everybody? It's Stan Grubb for Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio and the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Hey, join us every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as the triple threat of wrestling radio goes live every week, giving you their thoughts and opinions on the world of professional wrestling. Myself, Brian, and Rob, all live, all here for you. And as my good friend Rob would say, from corner to corner and pillar to post, we bring it to you every week at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. BeyondRingside.com and ProWrestlingRadio.net.
Howdy, friends. It's the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Layne with your invitation to join me, Mark Mabo Bowman, and Brooks Logan Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Find us on BeyondRingside.com, ProWrestlingRadio.net, and the Beyond Ringside Radio app for Amazon, Android, BlackBerry, and a whole lot more. Once again, that's Sundays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and ProWrestlingRadio.net.
This is Harley Race, 8 times NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, first ever King of the Ring.
This is Randy Rose from the original Midnight Express.
This is Todd Howard from LM Promotions.
This is Mr. Wrestling 2.
Hello, it's the hardcore legend, Mick Foley.
This is Q-Ball Carmichael.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and we're locked into Beyond Ringside. Just time.
It is 10 minutes after the 7 o'clock hour in the Central Time Zone, 10 after 5 on the West Coast. Greetings, good evening, welcome back into Beyond Ringside Live. Fast Steady Layne in the ever-evolving Studio One, being rejoined by Mark Maybo Bowman. What's up, brother?
I kind of wonder why them cheeseburger sliders were moving.
You scare me sometimes. Now,
That's
we're
true.
doing this in a split simulcast. Unfortunately, everybody who, like to welcome in, good friend of the family, Karen Smith with Coast to Coast Championship Wrestling. Karen, glad to have you on board.
Thank you for having me again, Eddie.
Now, unfortunately, everybody through your Facebook feed cannot hear what we're doing here on the live side, so we're going to back up for a minute. The field is yours. We've got a drawing taking place for 2 tickets to this coming Saturday night's Coast to Coast Championship Wrestling live event. Karen, it's all yours.
Thank you for those that are joining me live on Facebook. I'm in the studio with Fast Steady Layne at Beyond Ringside. We're about to do this week's drawing for our 2 Gold Circle VIP tickets to the event this Saturday, April the 6th. Again, thank all of you who shared our post and have liked it, and we're pretty much ready to do the drawing and see who the lucky winner is this week. You ready, Eddie?
Ready when you are.
Okay, I'm just going to shuffle these names around for just a moment.
Stealing one from the Dan Le Batard show. Thank
And
you,
then
Stu.
I'm going to look
She's
the other
rummaging.
way and pull a name out. I think I just have one now.
There you go. You got one.
The winner this week is Dan Mitchell.
Dan Mitchell from up here in Birmingham, Alabama. Danny, congratulations.
Congratulations, Dan. We'll see you at the show on Saturday.
And, of course, Danny, you know how to get in touch with the Coast to Coast Championship Wrestling Facebook page. But, of course, like I said, we're supposed to be laying back. I shouldn't be talking because they can't hear what we're talking about right now. But, of course, if everything can be picked up in peripheral on her microphone, I should have actually thought about just hardwiring your laptop into our system. We could have gone both ways on that. Shut up, Maybo. They can't hear you over there. They can hear you over here. But we will have all the late breaking news about Coast to Coast Championship Wrestling's live event slated for April 6th in the Moody Civic Center. Have you already logged off? Okay. You didn't have enough time to save the video. We're just having too much fun over here. Now, quick program note. We're going to go about another 15 on our live version this evening. Corner to Corner will not be airing live this evening. They are going to be they're going to be laying stuff down pre-recording. And as soon as they get wrapped up with theirs, we're going to go ahead and come back over this way, and I will get everything from Corner to Corner up and loaded on the server. So once again, for everybody catching us live, greatly appreciated. Let me see. A couple of quick program notes I wanted to throw out there as well. I love the fact that WWE.com has got WrestleMania by the numbers. It's actually a quite intriguing video. I love the fact that they mentioned the 2 shortest matches in WrestleMania history. One, of course, with Kane, and the other, of course, with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. They talk about, and the one that actually surprised me the most, Maybo, the worst win-loss record. The person with the most losses at WrestleMania.
Shawn Michaels.
Nope, Triple H. Amazingly enough, Triple H has the most losses at WrestleMania.
Boy, sure.
That's what they were talking about just a little while ago on WWE.com. I find it ultimately hilarious that everybody who...
I mean, like I said, other than Taker twice, I mean, he beat Booker T, he beat that guy, Sting.
Yeah.
Are we sure? I mean,
That, according to WWE.com, the person who has the most losses at WrestleMania is Triple H.
I think there's some shenanigans.
Well, for everybody, of course, remembering Triple H just uses that mythical golden shovel every other day of the year.
Well, also you got to think: are they counting that one triple threat?
I don't know who took.
You know the one where Stevie Richards won.
I thought you were going back to the triple threat earlier with him, HBK, and He Who Cannot Be Named. Chris Benoit.
Yeah, Stevie Richards. That's what it was. It was Stevie Richards. Stevie Richards won the belt that night. You don't remember that?
No. We are not going to do that.
No, I'm pretty sure if you go to the WWE Encyclopedia, Stevie Richards won the title that night against Triple H and HBK in that triple threat. Pretty sure.
Okay, hard segue. The other elephant in the room.
Well, that's not very nice of you to say.
Shut up. Figuratively speaking about pro wrestling, the other elephant in the room, or WWE, the fact that they finally put everything together, and Vince McMahon, yes, Kofi is going to WrestleMania. I just wonder if a B-plus player can defeat Daniel Bryan.
You mean to defeat another B-plus player?
Yeah, no. Honest opinion. The drama.
Those shoes are terrible.
Say what?
You said honest opinion, your shoes are terrible.
I'm wearing, you know what I'm wearing for shoes right now. From the Evil Empire, the blue and white ones. Because they're comfortable, damn it. But
those sure look like comfortable shoes.
I knew it! I knew it!
Wait, what happened to your white ones? Or are those only for show days?
Those only for show days.
Okay, continue.
And actually, in the month of July, I will have something different to work with, too. Because I have not made it public on social media. Very few people know about this. My tickets for ELO, July 3rd, at Bridgestone in Nashville came in. So,
LFO.
ELO, the Electric Light Orchestra.
Oh, I thought you were talking about LFO.
No, not
You
like
like girls that wear Abercrombie and Fitch.
I know it. Hell, light funky ones to be exact. That's what their LFO was the acronym for. But no, for years, huge fan of ELO. Found a ticket in the ring. You know, Bridgestone has a different setup. You have the main floor, you have the lower section of seats, then they have a divider ring with about 5 rows before they get up to their upper bowl. And that that center section, 200s, just great seating. Because if you're on that first row of that, you've got a clear shot of the stage all night. And that's where I am on that first row, and I've just got a clear shot of that stage all night. But when I go up there, I'm planning, of course, to do the goofy thing, and yes, after the concert is over with, and of course, I will have an Uber that night, so I will not be driving, but I do plan to hit Broadway Street, go to some of the little tourist traps, but there's this one little boot store, Western wear store on Broadway. You buy 1 pair of boots, you get 2 pair free, matching equal or lesser value. They have this one series that I like in black, in gray, and in lighter brown. And so I'm going to go ahead and, since they have my size and they have my width, I'm getting these. So we're going back probably starting in the month of August for me working live events. Going back to the jeans bolo, the Western style.
I was wondering where the story was going.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about me and the white tennis shoes that I always wear in the winter months. If I'm not doing a formal event, it's always deep blue jeans, white mock turtle, black leather vest, white tennis shoes. That's the signature. That will not be worn this coming Saturday. What? It's too warm to wear the mock turtle, even with the temperature outside being 45 degrees.
Anyway, you think Kofi's going to win, or do you think
I hope he does
do the racist thing like he did with Booker T years ago?
Well, let's put this in perspective, because do you think that they just used way too much unnecessary drama in this build?
Oh, no, but somebody threw out there that could this be a setup for Big E and Xavier to turn on Kofi?
I don't think you could make unless they did a complete shattering of the New Day, I don't think you could turn any of them heel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're going to have to. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I can tell you right now, if Kofi does, I mean, we all remember, you know, the semi-racial angle that they did in the early 2000s where, you know, Triple H referred to Booker T as you people and blah, blah, blah. And it really looked like he was going to go over on Triple H at WrestleMania, and then what happens? Triple H wins, and everybody's like, wow.
Right.
So What if we're going to have the same thing?
I do not know.
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised.
Like I say, I'm really looking forward to seeing Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston one-on-one at WrestleMania. Regardless of who goes over, I really think it's going to be a solid match that is going to steal the show. So I'm throwing that out there now.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Do you think they're going to have 3, I guess, quote-unquote, heavyweight title changes?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Who cannot walk away with the belt?
Well, you know that they're not going to change over the women's tag team titles, not until if they do what I hope they're going to do. Even if Charlotte,
no, I'm not talking about the tag titles. I'm not talking about if the U.S. or the Intercontinental title. I'm not talking about any of the tag titles or anything like that. I'm talking straight up. You got the triple threat. You got Rollins, Lesnar. You got Kofi, Daniel Bryan.
Why not?
Do you think they're going to change all 3?
Why not? Give me.
I'm just asking because
no. If you want to go counterpoint on this, I'm more than willing, as long as you're willing to sit back and take the idea that they won't do it. I think that they will do it.
Dude, I'm not saying they. I'm asking you. Do you think they will?
Yes.
Okay. Or do you think they let Kofi win by disqualification? So technically he wins, but he doesn't win the belt.
Riot.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Riot.
If Kofi doesn't walk away with that title, they gonna be a problem. If Becky walks away with anything other than the Raw Women's title,
Riot.
They gonna be a problem.
Riot.
At this point, nobody gives a damn about the Brock Lesnar Seth Rollins match.
No, they really don't. Amazingly enough, you've got more focus genuinely on the Raw Women's title match and the World Heavyweight title match over on SmackDown. It's almost like Vince's vaunted Universal title has become secondary.
Wait, you mean the title that's very rarely ever making its champion making an appearance on the television show that it represents?
Yeah,
is kind of been pushed to the back? No.
Brock Lesnar is not the attraction everybody thinks he is. Brock Lesnar is not the special event that Vince McMahon thinks that he is. I'm sorry, I've said that for a while. People have gotten so burned out on the fact that, okay, Heyman shows up more than Lesnar. For the love of all that is
more entertaining. Heyman's more entertaining than Lesnar.
Much more entertaining. So for the love of all that is right in this, and this is where I feel horribly bad for Seth Rollins. Let's shoot for a hot second. With the focus that has been on Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair, with the focus that has been so white-hot intense on Kofi and Daniel Bryan on SmackDown, do you realize that when that title changes hands, Seth Rollins and WWE Creative is going to have a mountain to climb in order to restore some kind of prominence to that championship? The United States title meant more around the waist of R-Truth than the Universal title meant around the waist of Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar is a multi-sport star. The Intercontinental title still holds more prominence than the Universal title does. God knows the NXT championships, plural, hold more relevance than the Universal title does.
The Cruiserweight title holds more relevance.
They still have a Cruiserweight champion?
Buddy Murphy. Because he's been putting... Buddy Murphy's been putting out some bangers. He's been putting out bangers, man.
Okay, but you got a lot of people that do not have the WWE Network, so therefore they're not seeing Buddy Murphy defending the championship on 205 Live.
But you know what? They're seeing more of it in replays than they are Brock Lesnar.
No kidding. Tell you what, we are 25 after the hour. I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to the last call. I know there was a lot of stuff we needed to cover this week, but time constraints in play. We got a late start on today's live episode from there, And we've got a lot more stuff we got to cover off air and some other things going on right now. So, Mabo, I'm going to toss it to you, my friend. However you want to play it, it's last call.
Oh, so what you think about the WWE erasing Chris Jericho?
That's been done.
No, sunshine. Back that truck up. Nope. He has been, any reference has been pulled from, unless it's match specific. References about him have been recently edited out of Edge of Christian show, out of Up, Down, Down. He is no longer, WWE talent since he signed with AEW a couple months back. WWE talent is no longer allowed on his podcast.
Right.
Which I think is ridiculous.
Well, of course.
I mean, because he tried to get some guys to promote Mania on his show, and WWE was like, "No, we're good."
No, there's
that's petty.
I understand the reasoning for that.
Whatever.
No. I do. As a businessman, I understand the reasoning for that. Jericho has signed with AEW. When you start bringing in WWE talent to someone who to that podcast for someone who works for AEW, you're drawing a WWE audience base, which Jericho already had. So let me clarify that little part. But you're going to be bringing WWE fans over to hear Jericho, and they're going to stay back and listen to him hype AEW. Vince wants to...
So, but how's that any difference from when he was with New Japan?
New Japan was not a direct threat here in the lower 48.
AEW is not a direct threat. AEW has not even ran a show. AEW has not even ran a show.
Theoretically, AEW technically can still be classified as All In. And Double or Nothing coming up makes their second outing.
Nope. AEW, their first outing will be Double or Nothing because Ring of Honor was part of All In.
Sinclair Broadcasting was okay.
Sinclair Broadcasting ran.
All
For those
In.
of you who don't know, Sinclair Broadcasting bankrolled
All In.
All In.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So
not to mention put up the uplink for pay-per-view and Fight TV.
Yeah. So that was not AEW. That was Ring of Honor light, so to speak.
It is what has morphed into, because of the connection with Cody and the Bucks, it is what has morphed into All Elite.
No, dude. See, you're wrong. Tony Khan was like, okay, you have an idea. I saw what happened. I like what happened. Let's make this a reality. That would be the same as if I put on, if my dream of, Y'all In happened here in the South, and then somebody came along.
I forgot about that.
And, and somebody came along and was like, hey, based off of what you did, your idea, and the work that the people did, I now want to start a company. And our first outing will be, Trouble or something. I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. You can't say that AEW, because AEW didn't even exist. There wasn't even a thought when they did. If anything, AEW was birthed out of All In. So it's not a chicken or the egg situation. We know what happened.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. But New Japan and Ring of Honor and all that stuff, I think it's just Vince being petty. Which he can. They're his toys. But, for an 80-year-old man with weepy old man eyes and going senile and racial tendencies, he needs to grow up. Your turn there, Sasquatch.
I'm just going to go and
say, you got someplace to be. You got someplace to be. I don't. So go ahead.
Okay. In all sincerity, I've been on. I have a better reason than ever for me to personally not watch WrestleMania. And no, it has nothing to do with any of the in-ring talent. I'm going to be a prick. Here we go.
No.
A few weeks ago on Monday Night Raw, they did a crossover with Colin Jost and Michael Che from Saturday Night Live. A show that I have not watched in 5 years. I decided for the first time in a long time to watch Saturday Night Live. Tuned in about 10 minutes late. I'm going to be totally honest. They ran 4 consecutive sketches that had me laughing my ass off. The funny was back at Saturday Night Live. Something that I had not seen in a while. And lo and behold, I'm sitting back going, there's hope. Oh my God. They found writers. They found that something that was missing called humor. And then here comes Weekend Update. I had a conversation earlier today with a very good friend of mine. And I made the statement that political satire and humor is funny when you are willing to hit both sides. For those who know me, here we go. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a conservative. I'm not on the left. I'm not on the right. I'm me. I agree with certain things on both sides. I disagree with certain things on both sides. And I make fun of both sides. I have no problem with my stance. I'm the swing voter that both parties are scared of. Because I take the time and I listen, I pay attention, and I find out what's going on with the issues. That part having been said, Weekend Update, I lasted about a minute. About a minute, 8 seconds if you really want to be truthful about it. Because what they were doing just was not funny. And they were doing the all-out attacks on the right again. Once again, if you're going to hit one side, why not hit the other side? Does that not match the agenda or the narrative? They were doing stuff that was hitting both sides in the previous 4 sketches that I saw that were funny. I did not hear the humor in what they were trying to do. I've said this from the minute I found out that Colin Jost and Michael Che were going to be on Monday Night Raw a few weeks ago. Saturday Night Live needs this more than WWE does. They're appearing on WrestleMania and on Monday Night Raw does not benefit WWE programming in the least. Why? The ratings tell the tale. For as low as WWE's ratings are right now, which is the lowest in company history, they don't need Saturday Night Live's audience. They don't need Saturday Night Live's talent, if you want to call it that. Why? Because the audience that WWE already has is bigger. Exponentially. There's nothing that 2 C-listers on Saturday Night Live can possibly bring to the table that would be of an asset in any capacity to WWE and what they offer their fan base. At her age, Betty White is a greater commodity for 5 seconds than these 2 wannabe clowns would be for an hour. Betty White's a hell of a lot more popular. And a S-ton funnier. So, if WWE wants to be World Wrestling Entertainment, if you're going to bring in outside forces, outside personalities, characters, actors and actresses, whatever, please, just let them be entertaining. Now, I've not paid attention to those 2 individuals before they made their appearance on Raw or before last night on Weekend Update. I can only hope that what they bring to the table at WrestleMania is somewhat entertaining. Now, I'm not going to be one of those, I'm going to cancel month of subscription. So first off, it's only $9.99 a month. I spend more than that on lunch. Most days. Hi, Paw Paw Patch on Green Springs Highway. Okay. Key West Salad. Publix Deli. Rock on. But I've said this about WWE and every other company. If you're going to try to hot shot the show with somebody outside of your bubble, please make sure that it's going to be an asset. These two, based on what I've seen, ain't that. Not an asset. If nothing else, it's a liability. And for those of you sitting back going, hey, Linda McMahon is resigning. It's the chairperson of Small Business Administration. Guess what? Be expecting the press release within the next 3 months. As Linda McMahon exits the Donald Trump administration, steps down from the chair of the SBA, expect her to take back over the reins of WWE so Vince can go write himself off television again and go play football commissioner with the XFL. Vince, even at this phase, probably does not believe that Stephanie can handle the front office, that Hunter can handle the front office, or that Shane can handle the front office. The person who needs to be in that position, I would gladly give it back to Linda McMahon. She is an intelligent, articulate individual, a professional in every sense of the word. And if Vince is going to find a way to put her back at the console, so to speak, to use the old Star Trek term, you've got the con, excellent choice. She's proven on more than one occasion she can handle the reins of the company. Give them to her again, and let's keep riding. Until it's time for Steph or Shane, or possibly even Hunter, to take over the console. And yeah, that's my side of the coin. Mabo, got shameless plugs?
What?
I'm going to kick you in the nuts if I can find them.
I'm awake. What happened? What? School? No, I'm good.
Mr. Bowman, do you have your algebra homework ready to turn in?
Oh, I was smart enough for algebra.
2 + 2 =
22?
1 +
Don't
1
you got
=
somewhere to be?
Quit pulling back the curtain or I'm going to kick you in the head. Remember, math
I'm
lesson for the
talking to
day.
you. I'm talking to the guinea pigs.
Math lesson for the day. 1 + 1 = G. And I don't mean GTE. I'm going to get hit for that one later.
Man, the GTFO.
Well, then I will go and handle shameless plugs for both of us. And you don't give out your...
because we're going to the same place, brother. We're going to the same place.
I know it. For our friends in Central Alabama, all the way through the great state of Alabama, Southern Tennessee, Northwestern Florida, Western Georgia, all the way through Eastern Mississippi. Keep your eyes and ears open. It is this Saturday night. It's finally here. Moody, Alabama. Moody Civic Center. Coast to Coast Championship Wrestling. The broadcast team, the announce team, actually I call us the announce team. Yours truly, Fast Eddie Layne, Mark Mabo Bowman, back behind the microphones for the debut event called Scorned at the Moody Civic Center. Looking forward to it. Going to have a great time. If you haven't gotten your tickets, check out Coast to Coast Championship Wrestling over on Facebook. Other forms of social media and website are forthcoming. Karen, thank you again for dropping in tonight and working with us on the drawings. It's been a privilege to have you on board and looking forward to doing a lot more stuff with Coast to Coast.
Thank you. We are looking forward to it as well.
From that vantage point, here's the broadcast calendar for the week. Back to basics, Tuesday night, 8:30, probably 8 p.m. Central Time. UCW Radio, Stan Grubb and Company for Ultimate Championship Wrestling this coming Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. The Shooters Gallery, Thursday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 8:30 Central Time. So Shooters Gallery moving up 30 minutes. Then, of course, Coast to Coast this coming Saturday. From that vantage point, Sunday, WrestleMania Sunday, we'll be going live way earlier in the day. I'll have graphics up all the way across the board in the next, probably in the next 48 hours. We're just going to nail down the time and see exactly what's going to happen. Count on 4 p.m. Central. We may go sooner than that. No guarantees, no promises, just fun. So from that vantage point, let's call it at Beyond Ringside on Twitter, Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside, and Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live. From that vantage point, BeyondRingside.com as well as ProWrestlingRadio.net. Of course, you can always find us on the Beyond Ringside channel on TuneIn Radio and the TuneIn mobile app. On the replay side of life, Podomatic, Stitcher, Spreaker, iTunes, and of course, you can find us on iHeartRadio and YouTube. Let's take it home. For Mark Mabo Bowman. For special in-studio guest Karen Smith from Coast to Coast Championship Wrestling.
I hear a margarita calling.
Woohoo! Yo, Jose! And I don't mean no way, Jose. I am the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Layne saying until next time, adios, das vidania, hasta luego, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, sayonara, adieu, arrivederci, farewell, senior, au revoir, until we meet again, aloha means bye-bye. Join us right here next time as we all go Beyond Ringside. Bye for now.